Here are 18 YouTube automation niches that everybody is sleeping on and nobody knows it. Now, you guys love the last automation niche list video I made, so here's another 18 that are insanely untapped with scalability and lack of competition. Now guys, really quickly before we go ahead and get into this, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. It's a super cool networking environment where I share these niches early, we do public calls that are completely free, and it's honestly just a really cool place to connect with like-minded people. And guys, before we get into this is not financial advice, it's simply me sharing some of the niches I've found that I think have a ton of potential. Now, without any more yapping, let's get straight into the niche tier list that I've created. Now, coming up first, we have a very, very unique channel. This channel is called Coastal Catch, and they essentially post somewhat long form videos, and it is very, very bizarre. Now, don't get shocked or anything like that. Don't click off the video. It's going to get a lot better. I figured I'd start with the ones that I was the most unsure about. Now, this channel is very, very new. They started about 2 months ago, and essentially what they post is like coastal foraging videos, like amazing catching jellyfish, and they're essentially using like free to use content that's essentially them like cooking up stuff that they find in the sea. It's super weird, but one of the good things about a niche like this is that you kind of build yourself outside of that kind of YouTube automation bubble and you build up a long-term brand. Think someone like Miller Wilson, for example. These guys managed to build massive brands even past just YouTube automation as a whole in the sense of their actual persona and stuff like that. Now, in terms of the RPM, you're probably looking at about $3 to $4. And of course, that channel's brand new. They're pulling in about 1 million views a month at the moment. So probably about 3 to 4K a month. Now, coming up next, we have one of the channels I've actually seen recently, and it is very enticing. Now, this channel is called Intuos. They essentially post videos like why highly conscious people can't find love anymore. They've essentially created this fake person. I believe his name is Carl Young, and they've kind of built that around the face of the brand itself. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this isn't necessarily to say go ahead and copy this exact style of content, say video length, etc. Now, these guys are posting just regular long form. As you can see, they have had a ton of outliers, like 562K views, why spiritually awake people are quietly disappearing from society, and they are blowing up. 500,000 views, obviously, they only started 3 months ago. If you go ahead and check their lifetime views, they're looking at 1.8 mil views. RPM in a niche like this is probably about $5, give or take. So this one channel in the last 3 months has made over $9,000. Now, the reason I'm saying copy a niche like this isn't necessarily to say copy the length. I think we could experiment and do ultra long form videos in this exact same style and build that around this exact same niche concept. And by doing that, we would take the RPM from $5 to upwards of $25, meaning that we would have already made 45K in revenue on this one channel. And it's little changes like that and kind of finding those outlier niches where you can kind of take what's already working for them, double down on the outliers, but kind of change up the whole idea. And guys, really quickly, if you do want to work directly with myself and my team to scale your channel to $7,000 a month, go ahead and check out start.innovault.co. It's my one-on-one mentorship that's finally opened up again. You get a completely free training video if you guys want to just go check out the website, no obligations. And if you decide you want to work with me, simply book a completely free call with myself and my team. You get to meet me and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. But without further ado, let's get back into the video. Next up, we have a very, very good niche. This one is called Plain Tick. I saw this today and I figured I'd make a video on it. Now, they post soccer, football content, similar to like who really decides the Balloon d'Or, why Adidas risked $50 million to make a movie. Now, this exact niche is completely automatable with AI. They use AI for the voice, AI for the script, and the actual content is just free to use soccer footage. This is an example of an insane channel. Now, yes, they did start about 10 months ago, but they really haven't been posting consistently. They've been posting like once a month, if that. And if we go ahead and check their view stats, they are pulling in an insane amount of views. Now, it might only seem like they're getting 130K views, but of course, as I said, they're not posting very often whatsoever. Some of their big outliers are like 400K, 300K, 600K, and of course, RPM in a niche like this is probably, I would say, give or take about $4 to $5. And of course, you could implement doing 40-minute, even an ultra long style of content in this exact niche, and you would be absolutely printing. Now, next up, we have a somewhat ultra long form niche. Now, this one is called Whiskey Raven. Now, this is one of those niches where I couldn't really put it into a specific category. You know, I could say it's ultra long form. I could also say it's just regular long form. Now, they're posting about 40-minute videos and they only started this month. Now, what they're posting is 100% AI videos, right? So if you go ahead and play this, you guys can see they're literally just using Sora, and they made like a video, and they just continuously loop the video with rain sounds. And it's essentially like a Southern Gothic American mix. Once again, you can make these entire videos with Sora to kind of make the music and AI music, as I said in my previous video, if you want to go ahead and give that a watch. But these guys are absolutely banking. Now, you could 100% increase the length of these videos. They're only posting about 40 minutes. So the RPM on a niche like this is probably only about $7 if I had to guess. But by increasing the length to like 2 to 3 hours, and once again, that wouldn't cost any extra resources, you would be increasing the RPM to like $15 or even $20. And presuming you did do that, this one channel would have already made a couple $1,000s in their first month. Now, this channel is extremely unique. They are posting very, very frequently, and they're posting only regular long form. This is once again another example of a reference niche where I would 100% kind of experiment with implementing ultra long form into this long form. Now, they post World War II videos like the atomic bomb that nearly dropped on Kyoto, you know, not going to say that word, ordered Berlin destroyed, stuff like that. Let's talk about World War II, right? And they're posting an insane amount of times. Look at this. This is only 3 days ago, and they posted this many times just in that little length of time. If we go ahead and filter by oldest, they started this channel less than 3 weeks ago. So literally started it this month. And in that time, if we go ahead and check their analytics, they've got 1.8 million views. Now, a niche like this, as of right now, just completely standalone, would probably have about a $5 RPM. But as you can see, some of their older videos are like an hour long. So of course, that would kind of fluctuate the RPM and bring it even higher. But one of the good things and one of the beauteous things of a niche like this is that we know that that hour-long content does work. So by kind of spamming content and creating content in that kind of time frame, we'd 100% be able to build up an ultra long form niche. Next up, we have the history trip. This is yet another insanely good niche that is very, very new. Now, no, they aren't doing an insane amount of numbers at the moment, but I've seen this recently and I found this with my tool, and I figured I'd share it with you guys because it looks quite interesting. If we go ahead and filter it by popular, they're essentially posting AI videos about like urban legends. So it's a free documentary streaming channel that will take you on fascinating journeys into thrilling episodes. Now, they post videos about like the Gunslinger Mummy, the Mighty Eighth, the Battle of Midway, and once again, they are very, very new, only starting about 4 months ago. And in that time, they have got 1.8 million views. Now, this is once again another channel that's already doing ultra long form, so there isn't too much room to improve in that sense, but you could definitely increase the video size and the video length to maybe even 2 hours. And by doing that, not that the RPM needs it because it's probably already about $10 to $15, but you'd really be able to get it closer to that $20 mark. Now we have getting back into kind of the YouTube automation space. This is very, very good. We found one called the Ancestor Vault. They post ultra long form videos already, like why human evolution suddenly accelerated 150,000 years ago. And once again, these videos were made for sleeping, so they can be 100% made with AI. They're essentially just posting literally AI voices, AI scripts, and AI images.
Across communities.
You can see this. They're just using the same image and just looping it for like 20 minutes at a time while writing the entire script with deep research and using ElevenLabs or any sort of AI voice software to generate the entire audio's voice. And of course, this channel is very, very new, only starting about 2 months ago. And in that time, they have got 375,000 views. So if we go ahead and presume an RPM of about $25, which I would say is 1,000% accurate, this channel is sitting on about $4.5 thousand in profit every single month. Now, once again, it might not be profit, it might be more so revenue because of course we don't know how their internals work or how they're kind of operating their systems. Next up, we have a somewhat similar niche. This one is called History Vanguard, and my oh my have I cooked up for you guys. This is a brand new niche. They've only posted 3 times, but although they haven't blown up, I do see some potential with this niche. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. Now, they're essentially posting like animated historical documentaries and of course 100% AI, 100% AI script and AI voice. But if we go ahead and play one of these videos, they do require a little bit more editing than your average ultra long form video. But once again, this is one of those niches where I could definitely see you kind of building it and expanding it past that YouTube automation bubble and really into a long-term brand that's still relevant and still generating income 5 to even 10 years down the line. Now we have yet another ultra long form channel. This one is ArcheoVest. Now this is where it gets super interesting. These guys aren't monetized yet. You might say, how do you know? They only have 994 subscribers. So we are seeing right now, right in front of us, a niche that's already blowing up, that this guy is about to get monetized and start printing money, but the problem is he's not monetized yet. So it leaves a massive gap in the market for one of us to kind of come in, take over a niche like this and really get it going. Now, they post ultra long form videos like what our Earth was like before dinosaurs existed. And of course, once again, entirely AI script, entirely AI voice. And for the background content, you might be saying, well, how do they get that? Very, very simple. If we go ahead and look up Pexels, this is a completely royalty-free area we can use, and we can literally just look up dinosaur, right? If we went ahead and did that, we could filter it by videos, and there are just a bunch of kind of prehistoric clips that you're able to use that are once once again, entirely royalty free. And one of the beauteous things about using Pexels or using something like this is you can build up a folder on your PC with just thousands of clips that you can continue to cycle through every time you make a new video. So really all you're doing is putting the script in ChatGPT, getting the voice, putting it into ElevenLabs, simply uploading that file with some presets and simply exporting. And of course, if we were to go ahead and check how much money these guys would have made, not that they've done it yet, because of course, as I said, they only started this month, they've got 200,000 views and of course an RPM of probably about $25. This one channel, if they were monetized, would have already made $5,000. So this is an example of a channel that is sitting on an absolute gold mine just waiting to get monetized. Now, we have once again another one of these channels where I would kind of recommend getting into it if you're not a beginner. It does require having somewhat decent knowledge of YouTube automation as a whole, but this guy is very, very new. He is absolutely exploding. But when I say new, I mean he was doing well. He took a year break and now he's posting again and of course still doing really well. He's posting videos like The Great Equalizer Explained, You Don't Understand Grenades, How Guns Actually Work. Very informative videos like this that definitely would require a budget and aren't easy to kind of automate with AI. But I figured for you veterans out there that do have the budget and do kind of have an understanding and a grasp on YouTube automation as a whole would kind of value this niche and maybe look into it. Now, once again, the same kind of royalty applies to a niche like this where you can kind of expand it past the YouTube automation bubble as a whole and kind of build it into a long-term brand. Now we have Beyond the Known. These guys are posting insanely ultra long form videos and they're killing it. So they're posting videos like you're decoding synchronicity backwards. All right, guys, try saying that 5 times. I don't even know, but they're posting videos like Break the Matrix, The Final Stage of Quantum Awakening, kind of spiritual based ultra long form. That's once again, I know I've said it a million times. I must sound like a broken record, but they are entirely made with AI. So if you go ahead and filter it by popular, you guys can see they are having some crazy outliers that are obviously ultra long form. And of course, these guys only recently started posting ultra long form content on this channel. You can see they weren't really doing it recently, but obviously just starting very, very recently, they started doing it. And of course, it's starting to do quite well, but I still think a niche like this has a ton of potential that really isn't tapped into yet by this channel specifically. Now, of course, RPM on this kind of content, if you were to post about 1 to 2 hour videos, would probably be upwards of about $20. And of course, if you're pulling in 1 million views a month, that is $20K every single month. Now, once again, this isn't financial advice. It's simply me sharing my thoughts and kind of what I know in the YouTube space being here for quite a while. Next up, we have a very, very, very unique channel. This is called Weird Why. They're posting videos like 10 deathbed confessions that changed everything, 10 impossible objects found in the wrong time period, kind of the ranking based niche with AI script, AI voice, etc. And they're actually pulling in crazy views. So if we go ahead and check their oldest videos, you guys can see they only started about a month ago. So still an insanely fresh channel. They've put in 2.1 million views and their videos are like 40 minutes long. So with an RPM of about probably $8, these guys have made a little over 16 grand in their first month alone. And of course, they're still on an upward trajectory in terms of growth. They're doing 200K views every single 7 days. And of course, this channel is just absolutely exploding. Now, once again, not too hard to make this content. It's pretty simplistic, which is why I think it's a prime example of a niche to get into ASAP. Now we have Jeff the Historian. Now, this channel is also doing pretty well, but I think it's also one of those kind of underground niches where replicating their outliers is super efficient. Now, if we go ahead and once again check their oldest videos, they only started 3 months ago and they're posting videos like about the war. So which were the most impressive aircrafts of World War II? And I think one of the good things about this channel is it's still once again quite new. And of course, we can kind of copy their outliers based off what performed well on their channel. So we can see here, this 1 hour and 12 video. So we have our proof of concept. We know ultra long form works in a niche like this. And of course, they've had an outlier in this kind of war niche. Now, 93K views, which country had the most effective submarine fleet during World War II? Of course, hour 12 video, probably about a $15 RPM. So that one video would have made upwards of $1,000. And of course, still a very, very new channel for one of you guys to come in and kind of swoop it away and take over. Now we have Professor Wild Fang. Now I found this today. It's quite crazy. They're posting ranking videos again. They're 100% AI ranking videos, by the way. And they're posting videos like every pterosaur explained in 8 minutes, every nocturnal explained in 9 minutes, every extinct land animal explained in 8 minutes. Now, one of the good things about a channel like this is the fact that you can kind of double down on their outliers, because outliers in a niche like this are very apparent and they're very replicable. Now, if we go ahead and filter by popular, you guys can see they posted a video like every mythical creature explained in 9 minutes, 148k views. They only started about a month ago, so still a very, very fresh channel that's only posted 12 times. And of course, if we check their views, they've got a little over 500,000. RPM on a niche like this, don't get your hopes up. It's not too high. I would say probably about $4 if I had to guess. So this one channel has made $2,300 in the last month. And that's also presuming they were monetized, which of course they probably weren't at the very start. Next up, we have Medieval Monday. Now, this is very interesting. And if you guys are still watching this video, I would 1000% recommend getting into a niche like this. They're posting videos that aren't ultra long form at all. I see a massive gap as somebody who's done this for a while in doing a niche like this, like the most dangerous horse in history, the shocking meals knights ate before battle. No, seriously, how knights actually broke enemy lines. So kind of medieval based content that is pretty informative at the same time. And you can see they are having some success with outliers. If we filter by popular, still once again, only started a month ago, but if we filter by popular, you can see some of the videos from like 2 weeks ago are absolutely exploding. How knights actually use their weapons in battle, not like the movies. If we did this in ultra long form, I could definitely see room for this to be a massive outlier channel. And of course, still very, very undersaturated, 721,000 views in literally less than a month. That is absolutely insane, especially in a niche like this that is pretty underutilized, seeing as they're not even doing ultra long form. And we're getting very, very close to the end, guys. We have the next channel called History Untold. This is once again very, very new. Again, I have to make sure to add that. Only started about 4 months ago, and for the first like couple months, they weren't even doing the same content they're doing now. But if we go ahead and press popular, chances are most of the popular videos are from recently. Yep, 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago, 1 month ago. So once again, we have a prime example of a niche that has a ton of outliers for us to copy. And one of the beautiest things with a niche like this is the fact that they're kind of based on history, right? So we can use AI to write the script because it has information to fetch from. It knows who we're talking about, and it can kind of get information on their life and build it into an optimized AVD script. Now, this channel could easily be turned into an ultra long form channel. I think everybody here knows it, and I'm probably sounding like a broken record. Now, second to last, we have Educated Curiosity. They're posting videos like the common phrases that reveal your deepest insecurities, scientifically proven trivial habits that are strengthening your body, the strangest things people have seen in the United States. Now, this channel isn't really blowing up on their recent videos, but we did have one outlier 2 weeks ago that I think is very, very relevant. It kind of gives us the proof of concept we need to make sure that this niche has validity, and that was obviously scientifically proven facts everyone still doesn't believe. That got 500,000 views, and once again, this channel is very, very new, only starting about 1 month ago. So definitely give this a look into it and see if you can make something happen. And last but not least, we have Blacklist. Now, this is a channel that posts videos. If you guys are familiar with like Dr. Insanity, he makes videos in the crime niche and he makes millions of dollars. I'm actually friends with this guy. But the thing is, this is obviously the crime niche. Now, this guy does similar content, but in the niche of like the most stupid ways people actually you know what. Very, very good ideas, and of course, kind of a ranking breaking down niche. Now, a niche like this has a ton of longevity. It's never going to die, and it's got obviously a lot of proof of concept. Now, once again, these guys only started about a month ago. The worst Niagara Falls deaths caught on record, and of course, pulling in about 126k long form views a month. Now, this is one of the only kind of channels in this niche, so I figured I'd include it because I've personally never seen something like this before. And guys, once again, if you want to work directly with myself and my team, if you have enjoyed this video and you want private one-on-one coaching from myself to scale your channel, go ahead and book a completely free call on start.innervault.co. Once again, you get an entirely free video to learn from me, which is just completely me to you. And of course, if you like what you see and you decide you want to work with me, book a completely free introduction call with myself and we'll see if we're a good fit. And once again, guys, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Once again, it's a super cool networking environment where we all kind of connect and just share results. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day.